What is going on, people? Welcome to another Invincible spoiler cast. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and today I'm joined by Dana Abercrombie
Hola, everyone.
and Carlos Romero.
Yo, 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 what's going on?
All right, today we are giving our thoughts on episode 6, whatever the hell it's called. I'm not even bothering with the titles. Oh, shit, Richard Bailey Jr. jumps in right as we start. What is going on, Richard?
What's going on, Tony? What's going on, Dana? What's going on, Carlos?
Yo, yo.
Hola.
Using a new computer because my iMac died yesterday, so I'm officially a Windows person now.
Oh, okay. That's wild, man. But no, you came in right on time. We're about to review this episode. What's the name of shit? It's like you look better. That's some shit like that. Let's just get into it. As usual, we're gonna give our quick minute thought and stuff, and then we're gonna get right into all the storylines. So I'll go first. This was this week's version of Falcon Winter Soldier. It's more of a chilled out episode. Not a lot happened. You know what I'm saying? I should state this was also one of my. I didn't dislike it, but it was one of my lesser favorite storylines in the comics. So it was like, all right, we're doing this stuff with the Reanimen. You know, you just got to get through it to get to the good stuff. Wasn't a bad episode. It's just like more of a chilled out episode, especially after last week with my man Battle Beast. You know, but it was good. You know, it set up more stuff to come. Dana, quick thoughts.
Okay, so I know that we only have 8 episodes.
Yes.
So I was expecting a kind of a little bit more, you know, with the story, but this episode was really good. I didn't think that it was the worst of the whole series so far. I thought they did a great job establishing Amber's character. They did, and that she's incredibly annoying, and I need for them to break up. They established Eve, you know, and what she wants to do and how she sees her life going forward. They established that the Black Samson and the Monster Girl, they made it. They're alive. If given a more opportunity to stretch the episode, I would have loved for there to be more of we don't know if they're gonna make it. Yeah. But they just kind of we're good, and popped up, and everything seemed all right on that end. Now going with the whole university thing, I thought that was an okay storyline. It wasn't the best, but again, you got to see the relationship between Amber and Mark and how he really needs to get rid of her because she's just annoying no matter what he does. And that you would see another relationship between, William and Rick, and how that was kind of sad. I don't know what the end of that will be. I'm going to just assume that, you know, William is dead at this point, but you got to see that. And then you got to see the Dr. Sinclair, who's voiced by Ezra Miller, and what he wanted to do. And then also what was very important to me was you finally got the wife revealing that I know what you did.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a great job with what they had, but I wish it could have been a little bit more and we could have gotten rid of some things. I think the university setting was kind of annoying, you know, it was just to appease Amber.
Yeah. All right, Rich, quick thoughts.
Okay, here comes the controversy.
Uh-oh. Yeah, already.
Controversy.
So I agree that this episode was a little bit slower, but in my opinion, definitely better than this week's Falcon and Winter Soldier episode.
Yeah, you already know.
Wow, you guys are terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of storylines going on right now.
Yeah, we'll get into them.
That I find very interesting. Of course, Omni-Man and his wife. That story is slowly starting to unravel. So I was curious to see how that's going. I agree that Mark and Amber needs to be over. The character, I'm very annoyed with the character, and I understand now last week why y'all said y'all are tired of this relationship stuff always being done in the comics. So I don't understand why he just doesn't tell her what actually is going on. But it is what it is. And as for the college boy skit, I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, really, I like the fight scenes. That's one of the best things about this show. But it did feel a little bit slower. But my assumption is that is a reason for that, and that we're going to be getting some amazing episodes in the next couple of weeks.
Nice. All right, Carlos, quick thoughts.
All right. So I told Tony a couple of days ago that I have something controversial on my own to say.
Damn, a lot of controversy happening today, boy.
I want to, since we, you know, a lot of a lot of the cast here is also the cast of Falcon and Winter Soldier recap show.
Yes.
We do a lot of comparisons here between both shows because they're superhero shows. They're coming out the exact same time, kind of limited amount of episodes. So we kind of every week we like to compare them. And Rich, he just mentioned that he preferred this episode over the last week's episode. For me, I just like to compare both. And overall, since I haven't given my overall thoughts yet, I think I like Falcon and the Winter Soldier better than Invincible right now.
That's controversial.
Include if you asked me 2 episodes ago, it would be the other way around. But this episode, I know Rich said he preferred Invincible over Falcon. I'm the other way around, even though I agree with a lot of the sentiment because the Falcon, Winter Soldier, and faux Captain America fight was better than anything that happened in this episode.
That fight was legit. That fight
was stupid crazy.
Yeah.
Well choreographed and everything. But anyways, going back to Invincible.
Now I got something controversial to say. I agree with you. That fight alone was more epic than this episode. But the problem is, not to get too much into Falcon Winter Soldier, the other 80% was like, bah. So you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
They get it, but that you're right. That fight, if that entire episode was just literally those 10 minutes, it would have been better than Invincible. This shit was hype as fuck.
Yeah,
and the training montage. I am a sucker for training montages. By the way, somebody pointed out that when Sam was running, he was running on the right side, leaving his left open. Like, bruh, so good. Anyway, let's get back to Invincible, bruh.
As far as this episode of Invincible, it's one of my lesser favorite episodes. I wasn't too big of a fan of the university kind of thing. The whole Amber going to the party and meeting up with that one guy, it didn't really lead up to anything. It's kind of like it seems like they were kind of using it to make Mark jealous, but it never happened. Anything ever happened except Mark just looking at them. The dude ended up being in another relationship, or it just didn't go anywhere. The whole thing where his best friend, quote unquote best friend, because they hardly ever show their friendship other than them being at school and saying, hey, what's up? So he knows, but for some reason, the girlfriend that he's waking up from a coma to be crazy about is like, oh my God, Amber, I'm late. He can't tell her. And that's the part that's kind of irking me. It's like either tell her or just, be done with that relationship. I think you're at that point. I think the best part of the whole episode, and I hope everyone agrees with me, is the Omni-Man and his wife fiasco.
Yeah,
she's stepping her foot down quicker than anybody thought she would. And I have a prediction, and it's not going to be good. Overall, the episode was fine. There were some good parts, the Omni-Man wife stuff, the Roboto dude and Monster Girl. That part was pretty cool. The twins, the clones, that was pretty cool as well. And I also have another prediction about that. But
we'll get into it.
I like that stuff too.
Yeah. All right. So let's go down one by one because there was like 4 major storylines we got to cover here. So we already touched on it. So let's get deeper into it. The whole university aspect. So Marky comes out of his like coma or whatever, and he's like, hey, for whatever reasons, I'm going to go to college now. So he goes up there with Amber, I guess trying to make amends for like putting her through all this shit. I think he was gone for like, was it fucking 6 weeks or something? Like he was gone for a while.
No, it said 2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks? All right, so he was gone. All right, so he was gone for a while. So he wants to make amends, with his chocolate honey, So they go up there, with William and everything. I need to state this. Very interesting what they've done with this show, right? William in the comics was not gay originally, right? He came out of the closet halfway through the comic book series, right? He's like, hey, I'm gay now, but I thought it was clever of them to just get that out of the way in the beginning, because now in this storyline, the show storyline, he has a relationship with Rick that did not exist in the comic book originally. They, I'm not just well, they do get together later on, under different circumstances. But so I thought it was cool because in the comic, when you did meet Rick, it was still tragic because they played him as this regular college dude, very nice guy, just like he is on the episode, very like someone you would want to hang out with, right? So when his life goes to shit, you feel very sorry for him. But in this one, you have that, and the added part that like him and William were like in a kind of sort of relationship, so that adds even more tragedy to it. That was really good. I like that whole thing. I thought that was very well done, right? I even though, like, again, it's one of those things I don't care about those two characters myself, but I can appreciate the way it was handled. Done very, very well, right? Then you had the whole thing with what's his face, Sinclair, right? Like the obvious fucking bad guys. Like, all right, hey, look, it's the dude with the dark hair and like bags under his eyes, talking all shady. He's fucking evil, So, but, we'll get to that in a little bit. But then, we got to touch on the whole Amber thing because again, it's one of those tropes from comic books that I can't fucking stand. It's like, oh, we're someplace normal. Oh, the villain shows up. Oh, I gotta go hide. Oh, my girlfriend thinks I'm a coward now. Like we've seen this a million times, and it's one of the few instances where Invincible doesn't like reverse the trope, right? They do it all the time. They don't do it with this. I'm like, bro, just flip it on his end or something. And like I've been with you guys since the beginning. It's like this whole thing with Amber. It's like, yo, bro, do your thing with her. Do what you got to do, and then throw her to the side. Like this shit is not gonna work. You got a better looking honey on, waiting for you, man. And she got powers, so she can hang. If anybody wants to come fuck with you, because the reason you do not, if you're a superhero, the reason you do not want to be in a relationship with a regular person is because your enemies will come after them, right? They could go after Eve all they want, she'll fuck them up, so I want him just get with Eve, right? Leave Amber alone, But so that whole thing was just very frustrating. I didn't even think about it though. You're right, the whole thing with the little college party she went to, like they were trying to build up this kind of tension and stuff. Like I wanted her just be a hoe and just fuck this dude, like and then Mark maybe sees it or hears it just to ramp up the tensions, but it didn't really go anywhere, So they could have went somewhere with it, like really like make Mark go fuck. I'm done with this. I can't handle this shit, But that was kind of, again, the Rick Sheridan shit, that was good, but the Amber stuff was like, man, not feeling that rainbow, So Dana, you could get a little bit deeper into that that storyline, the college stuff, once you recover from the shock of my reaction.
Sheesh, that was a bit harsh. No, I can't stand Amber, and Amber seems like the kind of person that even if Mark told her exactly what was going on, she would still find a way to be bothered. Like, oh, why are you always going and not saving me? Or why are you always going over there? Unlike the wife where, go and do your job. I just see her being, I don't want to say selfish, because she is also a teenager.
Yeah.
But it does come across as it's being really self-centered. It's come be with me and do this. Come and do this. Come and do this with me. Me. And, even when he got hit, you remember the storyline was he got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
She even then seemed to have a problem with that. So for me, when he disappeared during that fight scene at the university, it wasn't like, oh my God, where were you? Are you okay? Did you get, harmed or anything? I would take that as, maybe he's running and hiding. Yeah, it's kind of like messed up. You didn't come and run and hide with me, but are you okay as well? Instead, she made it all about her.
Yeah. And
she put this blame on him, like, oh, why did you leave? Well, what's going on? Oh, I can't stand you. And it adds an unnecessary pressure to what Mark is going through. And yeah, you could say just tell her, but I still feel that she's just bitter in this relationship. And I don't think that they're a great pair.
Yeah, I want to jump in real quick. I do not advocate for him telling her anything. Don't say shit. Dump her and that's it. Do not tell her at all, because it's very like, you say what you will about Amber, she could be, I don't think she's that annoying, but you still don't want to put her in harm's way. Mark should just cut it off, but don't say nothing, let her believe that he's an asshole. It'll be better for her in the long run, so I do not advocate for her to know who he is,
I mean, but if you look at the relationship that Mark, that Omni-Man has with, what is it, Sarah?
Debbie,
sorry. Their relationship works, and she doesn't have any powers.
Yeah, but they've been married for 20 years, right? And I'm pretty sure, here's the thing, it's like Mark knew this girl for what, a couple months, right? I'm pretty sure Omni-Man was with his wife for a while before he decided to tell her. He probably told her before they got married or something, like, yo, this is who I am. I can understand you had a established relationship for probably a couple of years, right? Not a few months with a little fling, so there's no point telling her, who he is.
Yeah. So yeah, I just don't think that they're a great pair either. I don't want to see him with Eve either. You know, let Eve go and find herself. And we have that whole scene where basically she's finding herself, and at the end, you know, she seemed kind of content
Yeah,
with what
yeah, we'll
she's
get into
doing,
that.
and we'll get into that. But I don't want to really
Yeah.
see her in a relationship. I think that Mark needs to just go at this solo and figure out his life as well. That it's just not a great time for relationships. And the whole thing with the college, where he's like, you know, I want us to go, and she's all like, well, what do you mean? What are you saying? You know, I think that he's doing this to appease her.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
that it's cute and it's young, but I don't see this as being long lasting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't think he should bother telling her anything.
Yeah.
It's not going to last long. There's
But
just
even
no
if-
point.
But even if like they're together for 20 years and he finally does tell her, I just still see her being that kind of person who will find a problem with everything.
Yeah. What'd you think of the Rick Sheridan storyline?
The two guys.
Yeah, the two guys and their whole robot and all that other stuff. You know,
I
being
really
converted.
I wish that we've gotten a more, you know, they would have went back and showed us a little bit of the relationship, because I wasn't able to be attached to Rick nor William.
Yeah.
You know, them as being the best friend, we don't really see that interaction. And, you know, he played like the best friend role when he find out, oh my God, you know, can I wear this suit? Can you fly me around? You know, well, we've seen that in like Spider-Man with Ned.
Yeah.
So I thought it was okay, but I didn't really feel a connection between the two guys at all. I like that there's inclusion with it, but I just felt like everything was like, boom, this is my man, boom, this. And I don't really have any of that information to be connected to that storyline. So what ended up happening when Dr. Sinclair basically turned him into that monster thing, Frankenstein creation, you know, it was sad, but I just really wasn't connected to what was going on and his tragic downfall.
Yeah. All right, Rich, what do you think of the whole college storyline?
Okay, before I answer that question, I have two quick questions I got to ask.
Yeah.
So now, y'all let me know if I am incorrect or not. Wasn't there a scene earlier this season where they showed the relationship of Debbie and Omni-Man, and she actually saw him as a hero, and then they got together after that?
I believe so. Yeah, you're right. When they were younger. Yeah, you're 100% right about that.
Okay, because I just had a thought about that when you was talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another question, because I know that you have already read the comics.
Yes.
And Dana has already seen the season. Will this situation between Mark and his girl ever get resolved, or is this something that just continues throughout the entirety of the season? Will he ever kick her to the curb? I know you probably can't say too much.
I don't want to answer that, but yes, you do see a resolution. I'll say that there is a resolution to it.
Okay. All right, that's good to know. So in terms of what I think about the college storyline.
Yeah, it doesn't take the whole season, by the way. It doesn't take the whole series. It happens quickly. So just get ready for that, you know?
Okay, so that probably will happen in the finale.
If it's not the finale, it's going to be the beginning of season 2. It's going to happen quickly. You'll see.
Okay, that's good. So here's what I think about the college storyline. I agree. I'm very annoyed with Amber as a character. In fact, what happened with Rick and the fact that now he knows about Mark's secret, that made me even more annoyed as to why he just wouldn't just tell her, listen, I'm the one that saved all of you in that situation. So the fact that it's still going on is very annoying, and I agree with you what you said, Tony, about I wish that she would have hooked up with the other guy, and then we can have this thing end, as opposed to it still being in limbo. Because even at the end of the episode, it's like Mark is still concerned, still thinking he has a chance to repair the situation, and it's like I'm like, man, just move on. You have other things to be concerned about right now. So I was a little confused about that, and I also agree with what Dana had to say about Rick's relationship with his other guy friend. We didn't really get too much development of that prior to this episode, but still, you know, it added more layer to the situation. Because, you know, now you understand why Rick wanted to try and save his friend, and then because they have a deeper relationship than that, so that made sense. Overall, it's just like I thought the episode was pretty good. In terms of, again, I don't think every episode of Invincible you can expect it to be amazing with a whole bunch of fights. They have to have some development stuff in there as well. So I just hope that I don't know if any of this stuff is going to be. I know what you said about this show, Tony, is that sometimes they will introduce something and then they will come back to it much later. So I'm curious if we're going to see this particular storyline show up again later, or if it's done completely with this particular episode.
Yeah. Well, just keep in mind at the end of this particular storyline, you had Cecil come in, taking Rick away, taking the reanimator away. He's like, "Damn, he made all this shit in the sewers. Imagine if he had money." So think about that. And remember what he's trying to do. He's trying to build something against Omni-Man. He's preparing for an inevitable conflict. Some cyborgs might be very helpful.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's settle down, man.
Just saying. Anyway. So, Carlos, what would you think of that storyline?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it's probably one of the weakest storylines of the whole show. I think like everyone in unison is pretty much saying that the whole relationship between Mark and Amber is just there's nothing there. They're kind of like just in a relationship because I guess they want to play with each other. The best way I can put it. They really don't have anything in common. I don't know. They haven't mentioned anything that they have in common. And it's a high school relationship, so it kind of makes sense. But it was Mark's decision to go after Amber and not go after William, for him being the reason why William turned out to be a cyborg, whatever the hell he turned into.
I mean, Rick Sheridan.
Oh, Rick.
Yeah, Rick. William is Invincible's friend. Rick is Invincible's friend's boyfriend.
Okay, gotcha. So Rick turned into that cyborg. So yeah, and actually, I think Rick and William's relationship is much better fleshed out than Amber and and what's his name, Mark. They feel like they have more chemistry. They actually kind of bond and stuff. Unlike every time that Mark and Amber bond is when they're making out. That's the only time.
Yeah, it's a physical relationship, which is understandable. They're young. That's what you want, trying to get it in, So I understand that, But it is interesting how you had 4 episodes with Rick and Amber. You feel more for this other side relationship that was literally 20 minutes, kind of interesting.
You feel bad for William. It's like, man, he found someone and he went all the way over here, and just for it to be taken away from him. I kind of feel bad, and I feel more for that relationship than I do with Mark and Amber. As far as the whole the fight scene was pretty cool, and Amber telling him, "Where the hell were you?" It makes sense. It just doesn't make sense right away, Dana mentioned it's like, there's people fleeing for their lives and there's someone, killing people. It's like the first reaction shouldn't be, "Hey, where the hell were you?" It's like, "Hey, are you okay?" That makes more sense. But I understand asking that maybe later when they get back to the dorm, when they have time to think about the whole situation. It's like, "Hey, where were you?" That would have made more sense to me. But right away after William almost dying, essentially, it's like, it makes sense that she's worried about, her friend's well-being. That part just irked me. This was the worst part of the whole episode. Just the whole university part. I can't make sense of it. I can't justify it. It's probably everything else other than that was really good. This is just, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna be able to do it, man. I can't redeem anything from this part.
But let's get into how that particular thing ended. I touched on it a little bit before. Cecil, the reaniman, and all that. Where do you guys think this is going?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, you could tell he's going to use them. They're these enemies, if they don't die, they're always used for later purposes. They always, they never. They're comic book villains. They never die, essentially. So yeah, I see him being used later on for Cecil's means. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to that than that.
Yeah, Dana.
Well, isn't she still trying to get the blood and
Yeah, he is.
reanimate and cloning people? So I think that any fallen villain or just person in general is going to be used in that experiment. I mean, they made a very good point. But remember how they couldn't get Omni-Man's blood, so instead they got Mark's blood during the previous episode he was like killed. So I think that whatever person that we may think is dead or is gone is going to be used again.
Yeah, Rich.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything that has been said. I think the thrill in this particular storyline is that you're wondering how they're going to deal with the Omni-Man situation, because you have Debbie doing her own investigating, and of course Cecil trying to figure out a way to take him down. So I'm curious to see how that's going to pan out, because we already know some bad things are going to happen, and I'm very curious to know later on what Carlos's prediction is of. He said something bad happening with Debbie and Omni-Man. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear that prediction soon, because let's talk about that. The whole Omni-Man, the whole Omni-Man thing. Yeah, Debbie, she knows, bro. She already knows. But I like the whole setup, because she went to their tailor. I'm forgetting the guy's name, but she went to the tailor, the superhero tailor, and gave him Omni-Man's suit. It was like, hey, can you analyze this? And you found pretty much blood and pieces of the Guardians all over him, right? Like he had like Immortal's blood. No, it was War Woman's blood. No, excuse me. War Woman's like metal pieces on him. Immortal's blood, friction burns from the fast dude. The fish guy scales, like all this shit. And then they looked at his the gloves, and they're like, yeah, this is the oldest blood on there. He struck first. So, and Debbie was trying to like figure out, like, okay, he attacked first, but what did they do to maybe instigate this? Like she was trying to rationalize it, like even though she's suspicious, she still loves the guy, obviously, so she's trying to wrestle with that. And then we had this really cool scene that I really love, the scene where Nolan shows up at the tailor's shop, and you're like, oh shit, here we go, because you already seen this dude kill the Guardians of the Globe, murder an entire civilization. Like, he's like, yo, this is gonna be bad right now. But it was actually more like, it was even more tenseful. I know that's not a word, but fuck it. It was even more tenseful, because like he was basically going like, yo, I know that bro. Keep your fucking mouth shut, and we keep drinking beer. And my man was like, it was art. He was like, all right, like that was a really good scene, because like Nolan, like they each knew what was going on. Obviously, Nolan heard the whole thing with his super hearing, and obviously Art knows what happened. So it was more like a warning, but like on the face of it, obviously it was just like, hey, two buddies are just having a beer, but the subtext was so thick. So good, and then, we had the end, the explosive end. Again, you could have a really big scene without it being a fucking fight, right? Where you have Debbie just go, fuck you, Nolan. I'm like, oh shit. I heard Carlos in my head when that happened, yeah, that shit was crazy. She wasn't even bothering to hide it anymore. She was drunk as fuck. It's like, nah, I know you did it, man. I know you fucking did it. Even threw the wine at him and stuff. Oh, that was so good. And then even the way the whole scene was lit, it was dark and everything. You saw like there's the one light from her laptop and everything. Then Omni-Man, he's all pissed, he's breaking the walls and everything. So it's going to be pretty cool to see how that gets resolved. And I definitely want to hear Carlos' prediction. So I'm going to save you for last, Carlos, because that's going to be good. Dana, what do you think of the ongoing shenanigans with Omni-Man and his wife, Debbie?
The fact that no one died was just a miracle. Because, there was that quietness, and then he was like, here's beer. So, like, and then remember, there was a scene right before was him following his wife.
Yeah.
And you would see him out in the distance. So I was just expecting for, definitely for him to die, because he's just a tailor.
Yeah.
But I think they played it very well. Where they were sitting on the couch, where he wouldn't sit close to him, but he was on the other end, and you could kind of see like that side eye. And like just being terrified. So for an animation, they played that just beautifully. It was animated just great with the darkness, and we couldn't really see everything. So I really did love that. The whole scene with the wife, I was not expecting that. Then I realized, we only have 2 more episodes left.
Yeah, 2 more. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we got to speed it up. But I just did not think that this was going to be something in the first season. So I thought that they moved that story up really well, and that she was just really bold now to just, say right out, I know you did it. And he just kind of tried to dismiss her, but you knew that she knew, you knew that he knew that she knew. Well, everyone knew.
Everybody knew.
Everybody just knew at
Everybody.
this point. Everybody was knowing. So they played really well with that tension, and you still kind of wonder what is his master plan. And he's not saying anything because one of two ways it could have went. He could have explained himself, he could have lied, or he could have just killed her.
Yeah.
And he didn't do any of that. And the fact that she's still, she just went upstairs, maybe because she's still drunk, instead of like, I'm going to, I don't know, Sally, my friend's house. She went back upstairs. So I think that they did a really great job, and that made me more excited, to watch the next episode and to see what will happen. Will he just ignore her? Will he avoid her? Or will they address this head on?
Nice. Rich, what you think?
Yeah, I pretty much agree. A lot of very good tension throughout the episode. Yeah, I also thought that Art was in trouble when Omni-Man showed up. But of course, how they handled that, very well done. And in terms of what happened with Debbie, also very well done. I know you mentioned before, Tony, there's a lot of story to tell throughout this whole series. So I appreciate that they did not delay her reaction to any of this stuff. And it makes me curious to see what they're going to do moving forward.
All right, Carlos, tell us what you think and the predictions. I want to hear this shit now, man.
Okay. So I think that this was probably the best part of the episode. A lot of these scenes, tread lightly kind of scene in Breaking Bad, when they're in the garage and it's like, what the hell's going to happen? So who's going to make the first move? No, apparently no one did, but they both understood what the hell everyone was talking about and what the implications were if anybody did something. Because I think Art knew that he's probably going to die. He's like, oh shit, this is the end. This is how it's going to end. At least I'll have a couple of beers before. But Nolan is just asserting his dominance and his control over him because he knows that he can do anything to him whenever he wants, and he knows that he's essentially under his will. And I think that's his way to just shut him up. Because if he dies, then it's just going to create another loose end for Nolan to patch up later, which is not something that he wants, considering that he's still under investigation by everyone, including his wife. And in terms of his wife, Debbie, that part surprised me because I just didn't expect her to come out this quickly, which is a pleasant surprise for me. Yeah, the whole tension between them, man. It's like, man, he's gonna be sleeping in the couch. What the hell is he gonna do? It's crazy. And then he hit the house, and I'm like, damn, you could break that shit right away. Be careful. Yeah, I'll just get to my prediction, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Debbie's gonna die.
Oh,
it's a given. I don't know how it's gonna happen. If it's gonna be Omni-Man, or if she's gonna get caught in the middle between Omni-Man and Cecil, whenever the hell they clash, or maybe even Mark. She's gonna die, man. I just that's something that just keeps lingering on. You don't have these kinds of things in tensions in the show. And not unless the whole Omni-Man thing gets resolved sooner than later. I expect this. I don't know how long Omni-Man's going to last, if he's just going to perceive throughout the whole series. I don't want to know if that answer actually, but if he has a long way to go, like maybe 2 or 3 seasons into the show, I feel like Debbie's just going to die in between those 3 seasons.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I was just going to say, to quote you, Richard, very interesting.
Yeah,
ahead,
that's
man.
a great prediction. I just want to make a comment. I as I know y'all mentioned, that is a bit surprising that they already got to the Debbie and Omni-Man confrontation is coming. My theory is, I think we got to that quick because I would imagine that when Mark finds out, that's the one they're going to take time to build up to. because I don't think he suspects his father has done anything wrong. He just thinks that he's a great guy, hasn't hurt anybody. So I think that's why they wanted to get this out the way, because they're going to take time building up to when Mark finds out, and that will be very interesting for sure when he finds out.
Oh
Rich,
man,
you gotta think about this, Rich.
Yeah,
they gotta build up Mark in a lot of ways, and
Mhm.
he always sort of kind of levels up every time he gets angry. So this will be like his Krillin dying moment in Dragon Ball Z, where he turns into Super Saiyan. I think that's the kind of, because I think they're gonna try to create like all these clones and cyborgs and stuff with the what are they called? The race?
the Viltrumites.
The Viltrumites DNA to create these, clones and cyborgs to try to combat them. But I think the person that eventually has to take on Omni-Man is going to be Hank or Mark. So what's going to be the part where, he's able to unleash all of his power? It might be something as tragic as his mom passing.
Mhm.
I need to say this right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm feeling like this right now, like, because I know the answer, right? I want to tell you guys. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, obviously. But it's just like, ooh, if you motherfuckers knew. But Carlos, get ready. I'm gonna hear Carlos screaming all the way from Texas, man. Oh man. All right. So we had that storyline. Let's go on to Homegirl Eve. We had a little bit of her going on, like asserting her independence with her parents. Because, here's the thing. Her dad, I think he means well, but it's like, bruh, she's 18, man. You got to let go, man. That's this. Like, I understand, like, yes, you're trying to protect her and all that, but it's like, that ain't up to you, Playboy. That's done. She can protect herself. She's good. Because remember, and the thing is, like, he's like mad condescending with her. Like, I only allowed you to go on the teen team because of Rex. Rex ain't shit compared to Eve.
Yeah, I was
like,
the same.
Bruh. Like she could literally bend molecules to her will. She could do whatever she wants. Rex, she just makes shit explode. She could make shit explode if she wants. There's nothing I'm not gonna say nothing, but people power up in this show. So you know what I'm saying? So she nothing to worry about with her. But I like the fact that, and this is something that the whole superhero trope of like, oh, I got a girlfriend, what do I do? They don't handle that. They don't handle that well. But this trope was handled well. It's like, I'm a superhero. I could be doing more than just punching fucking bad guys all day, and that's something you don't see a lot of superhero shows like handle, because they got to play with the tropes. Like, oh, the bad guys are coming, we got to go fight them, and that's all they're focused on. It's like, okay, you have all these powers, do something that's actually like really going to impact people. So she decided, okay, I'm going to go to Africa right now, and I'm going to help all these people. So she's irrigating crops and shit. She's stopping monsoons. Like, she's doing all this stuff, mudslides. I mean, and it was cool to see that. It's like, you could do something more than just, beating the shit out of people and causing mass property damage, So that was really good to see her, coming into her own. But at the same time, you can still tell she's still feeling some type of way when it comes to Mark and Amber, like you could tell she wants Mark, but at the same time, she also wants him to pursue whatever makes him happy. And Dana, just to contrast her behavior with Amber's, right? Amber's very, very selfish, right? Eve wants what she wants, but she's also knows that people need to do what they're going to do, because obviously she lived a whole life of being pressured by her parents. So she's not going to try to, put that on somebody else. So that was really good. Shows her level of maturity, really good stuff. Again, very short sequence of events here, but they're very like impactful and showed you what Eve was all about as a human being. Great stuff there. Rich, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't say it any better than you said it. It's great to see this side of a character, of a hero portrayed this way, because more times than not, it's the superhero that has to go save someone and does a lot of damage in the process. You rarely see them actually doing things to help out people who truly need the help. So I thought that was great, and I do agree that she definitely is still very much interested in Mark. But Mark has his own issues to deal with Amber. So hopefully after Amber gets kicked to the curb, he can pursue that relationship. But yeah, we'll see.
Right. Dana, what'd you think?
No
Eve.
relationship.
She don't want it. She don't want it.
Putting these children in relationships.
Yeah, she's an adult. She's 18.
Stop it! No, I thought it was handled really well. We saw the arguments that she would constantly have with her father. The father wants her to be that traditional, life, go to college, save some people, and just be regular-ish.
Yeah.
And instead, she wants to go out and break free. And I think even if you minus her being a superhero or having any kind of powers at all, it is very realistic. How many kids are like, no, I don't want to go to school and I want to break free and I want to live and go to Europe for a year and just travel and see the world. I'm not like you, Dad. So I think that was handled really well. And then when they showed her, helping other people, there was that moment when she created her own treehouse.
Yeah.
And she would lay down after a hard day's work and there was a smile on her face. So this was something that she truly wanted to do and she felt satisfied with it. And I really loved how she's able to kind of find her inner peace and that, her life is going as well as so far as it can for her. And also I didn't realize just how powerful she was in the sense that she basically can create anything she wants.
Yep.
She can give you life, what she did with the whole irrigation thing and the crops. So she, that kind of power, you could have easily went somewhere else opposite wise, but she has the maturity to know what it is that she wants, the maturity for now, even though it's technically one scene, to handle that and to kind of follow her own way. I really, really love that. And I just kind of wish that Amber would have some of that because in the beginning, it seemed like she was very intelligent, mature, she knew what she wanted in life and she was okay with it. But as the episodes just keep going and going, she's just whiny and annoying and self-centered. So she doesn't have that maturity level as well. She's complaining about, not where did you go? So I really liked how they showed the difference between the two. And Amber could have easily been like, look, not Amber. What's her name? Eve could have easily been like, look, I'm the better person for you. Look at me. But she didn't. And she could have had plenty of opportunities to ruin the relationship.
Yep.
Even not even to say oh, I want him instead, but just you're not a good choice for him. But she decided to stay out of it. And
not only that, she actually didn't stay out of it. She helped them. She helped them.
She helped him in the sense that she kept covering for him.
Yeah, exactly. So she was actively helping him. Again, shows her maturity because she's looking out for Mark, not herself.
Right. And I thought that was really great how they handled that. And I'm not really sure, but they really didn't show a jealousy with Amber yet. But I kind of feel that it could get to that point because remember when he got hit by the bus, only Eve knew, and that's how she was able to pass down information. But instead, she was more concerned about herself.
Of course, yeah. That bus was named Battle Beast, by the way. That's what he got hit by. Carlos, man, Eve.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that's been said. Eve is just, spreading her wings and leaving. Her dad is a dick. There's no other way. He's a fucking dick.
Asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. He's selfish as hell. He doesn't really care about his daughter. It's just all about him and the family. Her leaving and doing her own thing. That's pretty cool. Doing whatever, saving all the people, the mudslides. That was pretty funny. I just see those music, that different type of elevator music, while she's doing all those things and like a little montage. But yeah, I really have nothing more to add to that. I think it's just gonna be interesting where she's gonna be in the end of all of these things, because eventually she's gonna have to come back and go head on with whatever they're facing at the end of the season. She's just not gonna be isolated this whole time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. And then the last thing we got to cover here is the whole ongoing thing with Robot, Monster Girl, and the Guardians, all that good stuff going on. So, yeah, this whole time, Robot had been trying to help Monster Girl because she got fucked up, and they weren't able to really, the doctors weren't able to help her too much because her condition is magic based, right? It's not scientific. So he had to find this lotus flower in Antarctica. You saw one of his other robot bodies got messed up. I want to know what was guarding that damn thing. He was like, it was well protected. I'm like, What was that, bro? Like, what
Mhm.
did you have to fight to get that thing? You know, so she's on the men and stuff, and she's very appreciative of the fact that he had been there. But you know, as you saw with Black Samson, his powers came back. That's how, because he was about to die, you know, and they started doing the defibrillator, like their kind of weirdo future version. So they brought him back to life. Well, no, that act brought, you know, manifested his powers, which made him come back to life. So that's going to be really cool to see. But you see, my man's already onto robot. He's like, you know, you're supposed to be a robot. You're not supposed to have emotions, right? But like, you know, what's up with you and Monster Girl? It's like, oh, I care for all my teammates. Like, word, you didn't go battle some crazy shit in Antarctica for me, bro. So, you know, he my man's already sentenced something. Obviously, he's the senior member of the Guardians, so he knows some shit. You know, like just about the life of a superhero and human emotions and all that. So that was really cool. I like that. And then, you know, you had the ending part of him with the Mauler twins. They're growing something for him, you know, and they're trying to you know, because they're bad guys. Like, hey, you know, we want this. I'm like, no, you're gonna stay put, motherfuckers. You're gonna finish this shit. Then I'll give you what you want. What was the thing that they wanted? The Mauler twins want something. They want a piece of technology from him. And Robot's like, I'm not gonna give you that until you finish, you know. And
I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah, no, like they want something from him. But I'm slipping my mind what it was. They want a piece of technology, something, you know, something that's going to meet their ends, obviously. But you already know these are bad guys. Can't be trusted them. You know, you could say these dudes are shady as shit. You know. By the way, I believe it's Fred. I can't pronounce his last name. Fred Tatascion or whatever, doing a voice. The same dude who does Hulk and all these other characters and Rex from Mass Effect. Like I just hear that voice.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you hear him like, oh, I know this voice, and then like, oh, it's probably him. You know. So that was really good. Of that whole little storyline. So, Carlos, what do you think of you know, Robot, the Guardians, the Mauler twins, all that other stuff?
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with what's the name of the robot dude?
Oh, Robot, just Robot.
Robot, yeah.
Yeah.
Him, that's the hardest part to interpret, because he obviously we know he has clones, and one of his clones is with the two twins.
Yeah.
You know, one of them was getting one of that flower, the other one was with a Monster Girl. So we don't know what he's like, all over the place. He's helping people. It looks like he cares for someone, but he has means and you know, freed bad guys, and is creating a clone of probably Rex.
Yep.
And what the hell is that going to go? But obviously, it's all, you know, him and Cecil. Cecil appointed him as the leader of this group. You know, he appointed him as a new leader. So obviously he knows. I think Cecil obviously knows what he's doing. I don't know if they're working in conjunction with each other, or one is working with the other one, or one is being manipulated. But that's just the hardest part of the story to grasp. And I'm like, what the hell are the motivations? What are they trying to do? What's Robots, you know, is he programmed to do this, or is he really, you know, does he really have emotions? Is he really motivated by something? That is just interesting to me. I have no clue. We saw the twins at the end with the graveyard, those two kids that were digging up that thing. I forgot what the kids,
Immortal. They wanted to get Immortal skull to drink from it because they think it's going to give them powers.
Yeah. So what that implies for the twins being there, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that pretty interesting stuff. And then all of that's just gonna, you know, all of the work that's, because it's just building up to something, and it's gonna eventually, you know, run its head. And I think in the finale, something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Rich, what do you think of that storyline? The Guardians, you know, Robot, Monster Girl, all that stuff.
Very interesting storyline. You know, it's, you know, in the beginning, I thought that the Robot's goal was to create a team better than the current team to oppose them.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
So because I know I did remember the episode where he took Rex's blood, and of course, obviously concerned about Monster Girl. But just like Carlos, yeah, I'm a little confused now, because again, he does work with Cecil, so everything he could be doing could be ultimately to take out Omni-Man as well. So right. I like that they keep you guessing as to what's going on with this character. Obviously, he's doing some underhanded stuff, because you said that Black Samson noticed it in this episode. So I'm very curious to see when that's actually revealed. It would be great if it is revealed in the season finale, but you know, I believe that you and Dana would know more so exactly what's going to happen, at least as far as this season is concerned. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it whenever it happens. But yeah, it's just a lot going on with those characters. I mean, I'm glad to see that they all didn't perish in the fight from last week, because that'll beat the hell out of everybody. So glad that they did not perish, because I thought that some of them was going to die. But we'll see what the long-term plans are for all of them moving forward. And as for the twins, yeah, I actually have grown to find those characters comical. I'm very curious to see what their plan is ultimately going to be. But yeah, so far, yeah, they have my interest. So we'll see what happens next.
Nice, Dana.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what no, and in the sense, and that makes it really great, right? Because you just don't know anyone's motives. He's running around. Clone seems to be like a big theme of the show. You don't know. For me, if like one clone is used to be a distraction for another thing that's really going on, who's evil, who's good, the overall thing of what's going on. But I think that it was really weird how he said that I'm programmed with emotions, but he seemed really attached to Monster Girl. And not, like you said, the other characters. Although he seemed like he was pretty attached to Black Samson-ish when he was dying.
Yeah.
Maybe I felt like there was some kind of sympathy and kind of like sadness with him, which is kind of weird to see a robot do.
Yeah, definitely respect, for sure.
Yeah. So it's hard to see if he wants the worst for the team, if he's trying to work against them with whatever clones or whatever it is that is going on, or he knows what's really going to happen, down the line, and that he has to build this super team, and that he may lose some of the original team, and that's why he's building clones. It's hard to say, but I think that that's what makes his character so great, is the fact that you can't easily guess what's going on, and that's what makes that's part of great storytelling. But they really did a great job with pushing emotion. And through him, you're able to care for these other characters that we don't spend a lot of time with. I mean, we don't Monster Girl, like her first introduction was when she was cursing out Rex.
Yeah.
And we wasn't really able, we knew about her condition, but that was kind of it. And they really did a great job with establishing her character, how important she may be to the whole group. And with Black Samson, that he is someone who's the observer. And yes, he's been there for such a long time, so maybe that's why he's so more silent. He's just always in the back, and he's easy to forget because that's the role he wants to play. For whenever something is going down, he's able to easily sneak in and out and figure out things. So I like overall what they're doing with those three of the relationship. The the mid-credits scene with the two kids who thought that they can get the power. Yeah. That was, I think, to establish maybe they need more test subjects or whatever the robot is doing, because he's working with the Molar twins. So maybe they need to actually, I know that they're cloning, and the thing is that they're getting tissue. The goal is to regrow tissue. What are we exactly regrowing it? Maybe they're, again, the eyes kind of look a little janky when we saw it in that tank. It kind of, to me, it feels like they're trying to build another Omni-Man. And then, to not to defeat the original Omni-Man or to go up against him. I do feel like we're going to get one of those scenes where, he's going to end up battling himself. I don't fully know what was going on, but I think that scene was very important. And the fact that it's superhero tissue that they was going for. This is not, regular human tissue. So that's why I say this is to battle against Omni-Man. Because right now, Omni-Man is a threat. It's not Monster Girl. It isn't Eve. It isn't the other members. It's Omni-Man. So, yeah, that's my theory.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask you guys your closing thoughts and some predictions, but I have a question for each of you. What do you, because, you guys have been talking about robot. I'm very curious about this. Again, remember, I partially do this for my own amusement, just to see how right or wrong you guys are. What do you think is in that tube that robot was looking at a couple episodes ago? That mangled fucking thing. You remember that? He brought the blood to him, or that thing. What do you think is in there?
I don't know if you're what part are you talking about where the twins are?
No, this was 3 episodes ago. I'm glad I'm bringing this question up so you guys remember this. Robot came to this like hidden chamber, right? It was like a big. It almost looks like what the twins used to clone shit, but there was this mangled, deformed thing inside, and Robot kneeled in front of it. What do you guys think that is?
Oh.
Yeah, and again, I'm asking this because that will be important. I will say that. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but it will be important. So, but I just want to know, I guess you guys all forgot, but keep that in mind,
Yeah, I kind of forgot that scene.
Yeah, remember it was the same episode where he took Rex's blood, right? Very end.
Yeah.
He shows up to this thing, kneels before it, and shows it the blood.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. So what do you think that is?
I think that's something to if the clone of Omni-Man doesn't work, then it's something to defeat him. I feel that there is a big battle that's coming up.
Yeah, remember that thing was shown before they suspected it was Omni-Man.
Well then that that changes everything. I think then he could be building something to overtake Omni-Man, not just because Omni-Man's a killer, but because they want to be the master rulers of Earth.
Yeah. Okay. Rich, what do you think is in that tube?
That's a very good prediction that Dana gave. And much like Carlos, I'm struggling to think about what it could possibly be. Because you said Omni-Man, he wasn't a suspect at the time that they were talking about that he discovered this. I have to go along with the similar theory that it has to be some type of, maybe it's his creator, whoever he is. If the robot could be, I don't know if the robot is a robot by itself, because again, y'all mentioned he has emotions, so that could be the manifesting of, I don't know, the soul of that person within the robot. But it kind of feels like if he's kneeling before the person, it's somebody that is superior to him. So I would assume it might be his leader who he is trying to revive and bring back for a much larger grand scale plan.
Yeah, go ahead, Carlos. What do you think that is?
I think Robot is a Horcrux, and I think that thing is Voldemort. I know Tony's not going to get anything.
Yeah, no, that went right over my head. I'm like, I don't know what the Harry Potter.
I understood that.
Yeah. I will say one of you got it right. It's like I'm like, oh, congrats!
Is it a guy or a girl?
I'm not gonna say. One of you got it. One of you got.
You didn't understand mine.
Yeah. No, it wasn't you.
Wait, I have a question though for you, Tony.
Yes, I'll be careful with my answer, but go ahead.
I know robot is a robot, which meant someone had to build him. So is that correct to say?
Yeah, somebody built robot.
Okay.
And it obviously makes sense. Like he's talking about his clones. I wonder, if they're all clones of a robot, there's no real.
They're not clones of robots. They're just robots. Like how you could manufacture mad robots and shit.
He said it's my clone.
Robot said that? No, he didn't say that. It's just a robot. It's just you could manufacture mad robots. I'm just that I'll spoil for you. It's not a clone. It's another robot. You can manufacture a shit ton of robots.
Well, yeah,
what is your original robot?
Well, with a robot, does it really matter?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like each one of them is just there's no real one robot,
And you go.
And that's as far as I'll go. But yeah, there's.
I'm only saying because I don't want you guys going down the wrong rabbit hole here. So yeah, that's good. But one of you got it 90% right. What's going on there? So and I'll give you props when that happens. Although it may be a while, but yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh, so is that a confirmation? This is not going to get resolved by the end of the next 2 episodes. This is going into the next season.
Yeah, I'll say that. No, remember, Invincible, they play the long game. Okay, so final thoughts. Anything that you guys want to just bring up that happened in the episode you want to talk about? Final thoughts, all that. Dana, anything we missed or any final thoughts you want to give?
I'm trying to say it, but no, just my general dislike for Amber.
Of Amber.
This was the I hate Amber episode.
Yeah, You know, this is why I'm glad we have a woman in here, because like I can't hate on Amber too much because she looks good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, she looks fine as fuck. So I can't be hating on her. If I was Mark, I'd be like, yeah, fucking go for it, bro. She's fine. You know? She's fine, man. But I don't disagree with your assessment of her personality. I 100% agree with you, but she looks really fucking good. You know? Rich, final thoughts or anything you think we needed to cover?
Yeah, so I also dislike Amber, but I love the actress that plays Amber. That is a fine woman. And I don't have a problem saying that. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's a great show still. You know, I'm very curious to see how they're going to end the season, because I feel like there's a lot of storylines. And as you already mentioned, Tony, a lot of this stuff is going to continue well into season 2. So I'm curious, what is going to be the cliffhanger that ends the season?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it does. It's going to be great, man. Carlos.
Even though Falcon and Winter Soldier overtook the power rankings as of this week, this show is still incredible. And I really enjoy and anticipate every single episode. And it's sad that we only got 2 more episodes left, but I'm really interested to see where this will lead. Yeah, I think we covered everything that we needed to talk about. As far as what's going to happen in the future, we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will talk about that. We're going to keep bringing this up as the series goes on, but Invincible is probably the most ironically named character ever. He gets the shit beat out of him every episode. Every episode, he's fucked up. You know, even this, I'm like, yo, there's some shitty ass clone cyborgs, bro, and you're getting your ass beat. What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, he got demolished, man.
He got fucked up. You know. Yes.
Just say one thing. I did not like how they handled Dr. Sinclair.
Oh, really? What
it felt like just a complete throwaway.
Yeah.
You know, where like he had that huge speech in the classroom. They discovered what he really was trying to do. They basically broke his jaw, and then that was it.
Well,
for now,
and with him, he's definitely coming back.
Yeah. My man's coming back. I'll say that. My man's coming back. You know. All right, so that's gonna do it for us today. Another great show. Really enjoy this. You guys make my life easy as a host. I just like throw questions at you and you go. It's fantastic. You know,
what is this? Throw down your questions?
Yes, throw on your questions, baby. I guess I'll go first. So yes, you could follow me over on the Twitters at Romudeth, literally right there, ROMUDTH. Check out my bio, links to all the stuff I write, PC Mag, Laptop Mag, and you could check me and Carlos out on the Throwdown Show podcast every Thursday and Sunday nights at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Thursday is when we cover all the big gaming news of the week, and Sunday is when we answer your questions. And tonight should be very interesting because this week was kind of nuts, you know, so it should be fun covering all that, you know. And that's it for me. So Dana, thank you once again for letting me host this wonderful podcast, and please plug your stuff.
Basically, you can find us over at the Koalition, koalition.com with a K, as you see scrolling and at the bottom. We cover interviews, we do movies, TV shows, we have podcasts such as this. We do video games as well. We're all excited for E3. Yay! I'm trying. But yes, we cover an array of things. So, you know, we post daily. Stay tuned for our videos. We have one with Michael B. Jordan that is coming up this week on the 29th of April at 3 p.m. It's a premiere interview with Miss Laura London, who is the actress finally returning. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. So we have all of that is, you know, going to just be on the internet and also on our YouTube where you find this video. So just, you know, I know you hate to say this, like, subscribe, and have, you know, enjoy.
If you liked it, remember, I'm not against it. Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm against it at the beginning. So like, you haven't seen us, you don't know. But yes, if you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified. All the good stuff that Koalition has coming for you guys. All right, Rich, man, what is going on, man? You know, what you got, man? What you got?
So yeah, I agree with a lot that has been said. If you definitely like the videos, please subscribe. We have working on quite a bit of things. I know Gary and I recorded our Snowfall podcast a couple of days ago. I will highly recommend you watch that show if you are interested. It's a pretty good show. Dana has a lot of interviews that are forthcoming. She's already told you about. Definitely check those out. 100% worth checking out. And I am currently working on a review for one of the most controversial games of 2021. A game by the name of MLB The Show 21, which is also on Xbox. Yep. So stay tuned for that later this week.
Xbox Game Pass, that is.
Xbox Game Pass, you know? Yeah. I'm also working on that review, which should be very interesting, as Rich says, because I've never played a baseball game before. But considering all the controversy, I'm not even trying to hide that fact. I'm reviewing this purely because I know it's going to get a lot of hits. Keeping it real, you know? Carlos, man, what anime are you watching?
I haven't been watching anything since Attack on Titan. The half of the season ended, but yeah, make sure to follow us on at Throwdown Show on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch. Make sure to join. On Twitter, there's all the links. Make sure to join our Discord. We usually talk about a lot of things there. So if you want to talk games or maybe something else, to some interesting people, make sure to join our Discord. We're always there.
Yeah, we it's very engaging, right? Our Winter Soldier channel,
yes,
that going.
Yes, got a lot of dancing memes.
Yeah, yes, we do, an hour's worth of them. And I love how we transition the WandaVision channel right to that, so.
And you know what? It's going to transition
Loki. Yeah,
to Loki. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know about that show, bro, but we'll see what happens.
It's gonna be great. It's a great show. And also, we have a Loki interview coming up. So yeah.
Oh shit. There you go.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow. All right. So make sure you stay tuned for the final episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier podcast coming up on Friday. It's going to be crazy. Then we got Mortal Kombat for you. We're going to be reviewing that, another podcast, and of course, another episode of Invincible next week. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Later.
Peace.